Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? I hear you say. You know what we're getting into. We're getting into Married at First Australia, series 11, and now we are now on episode 26. And it's feedback week. Yeah. I don't know why they do these tasks and challenges with some of these people up in here, because it never goes well. It never bodes well at all. Because I will say, before I do my usual blurb, that Jaden thinks sometimes, I think he thinks he's holier than thou and he knows everything there is to know, and he stands on this moral standing. Yes, I understand he was cheated on, but at the end of the day, Jaden did some fuck shit after he was cheated on with his ex and towards his ex. So he doesn't really have a moralistic leg to stand on when it comes to that shit at the end of the day. But before we get fully into this video, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so when you know I'm on and doing videos. I am on the road to 1K. And I'm having 70 of you rocking with me so far. And I thank you all for coming in and joining moi, the Renegade Army. I have no words. I have no words that, you know, that there's 70 of you that actually like the way I like what I talk about. So, you know, and I can chat for England. I can, but I just need some more people to interact with me. Hit that subscribe button. You know what I mean? Comment, chat, you know, I'll always reply back. Anyway, so they say feedback week. Yeah, they say it's designed to help couples. But are they really? Or is it really designed for us viewers to see the drama that is these couples, to be fair? Because that's how I've got to see it at this moment in time. It's got to be designed for us viewers, because how in the hell is feedback week coming from other couples who's been through their own bullshit going to help you at the end of the day? How's it going to help you do what you're supposed to do within your said couple? That's all I want to know. So Ejin and Jaden are basically now on an even keel after they've got it off their chest in regards to the Sarah debacle. Jaden has in this episode what I would call a stash, like a mustache, and it does make him look like an 80s porn star. Some people can carry off mustaches and be like, oh, that's distinguished, but on Jaden, no, it makes him look like a throwback, to be fair, to a place that he should not be in at the age that he's at. But we shall move on. Lucinda and Tim, totally in a better place. They're bouncing off each other. They're laughing, giggly, jovial, the lot. Do I think it will work for them overall? No, I don't. But I think what will come out of it is they'll have the most brilliant friendship ever. And Tim will continue, as I said, to respect that woman to a fault, like seriously, because as I keep saying, Lucinda is a great woman. As you know, I'm biased when it comes to Lucinda because I do like her. I really do. It goes to Cassandra and Tim, and they are properly struggling. Like, Tristan is struggling with the fact that Cassandra wrote leave, and it set Tristan back a little bit. But I'm like, if this man wants Cassandra, yeah, another person that I do like, and I do like Tristan, but Tristan has a lot of issues, like seriously a lot of issues that he should have started working on before he applied to this show. And to be fair, the experts really well and truly, after speaking to him, probably shouldn't have allowed him to come on the show knowing the issues that he does have, because they're unresolved issues, and all it's been doing is literally putting paid to his relationship with Cassandra at this moment in time. He needs to come all the way out of his comfort zone, trust that Cassandra has him, and literally at least try meeting the needs of Cassandra, because right now he's not doing that. So Cassandra's basically saying that right now there's confusion circling around the both of them. Tristan is sad at the moment, and I think it's at this time that they need to take time to talk and listen to each other, because at the moment, as we saw in the episodes, they were just milling about each other. They weren't necessarily talking to each other. They were laughing and joking and stuff like that, but they needed to have sat down and had the conversation, especially with Tristan, to understand why Cassandra wrote leave. I do think that with them, that the communication is getting kind of lost in translation, but also I think that Tristan shouldn't feel blindsided in respect of Cassandra writing leave, because he has to understand that he's wrote leave already before. Do you know what I mean? And he blindsided Cassandra with that one when there was no need for him to write leave on the card. But Cassandra has given her reasons as to why she wrote leave, but it's up to Tristan for this week, penultimate week, for them to try and shift that and shift it to a different type of view for Cassandra. And the only way Tristan is going to shift that view for Cassandra is literally listening to his wife's needs and fulfilling them. We move on, and basically, you know, the couples talk about each other, but Lauren is fully on Jack's ass again, and all the couples are talking about Jack and his bullshit. And even Lucinda, as I said, couldn't say it better myself, turned around and called Jack like a red flag central. And he's like, he really is. And Tim did come up and say that he was pissed for not calling Jack out more and protecting Tristan in that moment. And this is what I said. This is what I said in my previous episode. Or was it, weren't my previous episode, but episodes before, that at the dinner where Jack went and gave Tristan that gift and wanted to speak to Tristan to the side and brought Tim with him, Tim was too hella quiet when Jack was playing nicey but wasn't being nice. So at that point, Tim should have opened his mouth and said something. So with Tori and Jack, it's complete tension city. It's completely different to how arrogant they usually are with each other, you know, because they put themselves on this pedestal and they don't like the fact that this pedestal is shifting and they're falling to the ground at a fast pace at the end of the day. I don't think her and Jack were ever in a good place. Like, seriously, I really don't think her and Jack were ever in a good place. I do think that, to a point, Tori is absolutely delusional when it comes to Jack. But hey-ho, each to their own, because she consistently believes all the bullshit that he peddles out of his mouth every single week. So this is why I keep saying, these people need to leave these two to it. Let them do what they have to do and let the cards fall where they may. And Tim, she went out of the flat to basically give Tim space. Myself, as I always say, is I never understood the reasoning that the experts have to allow for a person to stay in a toxic situation. I don't care if it's for viewings, ratings, whatever, at the end of the day, because I know it's got to come down to that at some point in time in terms of what the producers want us to see on the TV and us to consume as viewers. But sometimes they have to consider that these are human beings up in this place. They have feelings. And to be fair, the shit that Sarah did, if you was in the outside world, Tim would not have been with her. Tim would have walked away. Any other person would have walked away and said, yeah, I ain't dealing with that, because it's toxic, absolutely toxic, in the behaviours that she shows to this man and what she does to this man time and time again. But yet, she's done this absolutely heinous thing where she has emotionally cheated on this man, to be fair. We don't know if she's physically cheated. That's going to be people having their view, this, that and the other. But chances are, I would say she probably did, like, you know, they probably did do something, but there's no way in hell Sarah's going to bring her out to the forefront at the end of the day, because that would definitely put paid to her relationship with Tim. I don't know if she stayed with good intentions. I don't feel that she has. I do feel that she's trying to now do damage control in regards to her own image, because she doesn't want people in there, and especially on the outside who are watching this show, to believe that she is this type of person and will do these types of things to a man. It isn't that cut and dried between them. again, we'll see how things go. Like, we'll literally see how things go between them two. Do I think Tim will be talked around by Sarah? Yes, I do. Because at the end of the day, she's only got the space of a week in which to change things around. And I think she's literally going to love bomb the fuck out of the situation, to be fair, in order to show Tim that, you know, you can trust me. Things have changed. I want to show you I am here for you. And this is why I want to be here. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. So basically, when Sarah comes back, Tim had wrote like 3 pages of notes in regards to the issues and the changes that he wants to see in Sarah. Again, when he starts reading them out and he turns around and she goes, oh, you wrote a lot there, like a whole page. And he goes, no, it's not just a whole page, it's 3 pages. She was like, oh my God, and started moaning. And it's things like this, little things like this, that where she needs to just keep her mouth shut and listen to what it is that Tim is saying and then act accordingly afterwards. Don't start already on the defensive because he's wrote a long list down in regards to the shit that's gone on with you and what he wants to see from you going forward now. She needs to sit back, shut her mouth, accept the status quo as it is right now, and go with the motherfucking flow. That's what she needs to do. So the first couples have to give and receive feedback. So Lauren and Jono are pitted with Jack and Tori. Of course they would be. Of course they would. You know, because they literally want to try and see fireworks between Lauren and Jack. That's why they place them in that scenario. Jack is basically saying that, you know, he is not going to listen to anything that he does of a person that he doesn't respect. And well, he's going to have a fucking hard time when it comes to Lauren then. So basically, Jono and Lauren have to write 5 questions in which for Tori and Jack to answer. Lauren is loving this shit because she literally wants to put Jack on the motherfucking map and call his ass out, basically. That's what Lauren is all about. Lauren does not like this man. She cannot abide this man. And she wished that she wished that Tori would see the light. But Tori is not going to see the light. They go in, and Jono's first question is to Jack. And he says, this is the longest you have ever been not being sexually intimate with a partner. Why do you think this is the case? And why haven't you slept with Tori side of things? So Jack leads in with the fact that he didn't have a sexual spark with Tori at the wedding. But the way that Jack leads it in is as though Tori knows about this, that they both of them didn't have a sexual spark with each other at the wedding. Speak for yourself, Jack. Because Tori did. Tori wanted to rip your clothes off. Tori was feeling you from the moment you walked down the aisle. So for you to turn around and say that there was no sexual spark at the wedding, that was only on you. There was no sexual spark from you, but there was from Tori. Again, Tori's cricket, she's quiet, she's letting Jack talk. I think Jack is missing a few pegs out of a square hole, to be honest with you. Anyway, Tori then does jump up and turns around and says that in respect of this, basically, being pressured is not sex at the end of the day. And I'm like, my love, you've been hankering after this man's Johnson since you got married to him. So there's no pressure there. The pressure is the consideration that this man won't jump your bones. You want him to find you attractive. You want to have that connection with him. You want to sleep with Jack. You want to have that sexual connection with him. You want to have sex with Jack. But yet Jack is the one that has put the brakes on that. That's what you're going to have to respect, because Jack has put that barrier in place. But you don't, Tori doesn't fully understand why Jack has put that barrier in place. And this is why I'm saying loose lips will sink ships, because at the end of the day, Jack is going outside of his marriage and talking to everybody else about his non-attraction to his wife. Yeah, and I've already said throughout these episodes that if someone was in there that Jack was hella interested in terms of he had that sexual attraction with that person, he would have bedded her tenfold by now. he would have bedded that gal tenfold by now. So how Tory can keep sitting there excusing this man time and time again is, as I already said, it's born out of desperation, because this girl has already said that she has let go of a 6-year career right now and let go of other things in order to go through this process with this man. She is not leaving here without a husband. So that's all I'm saying. Lauren and Jono continue with their questions, and Lauren asks, do you think it's possible that they will both get there in regards to the sexual element of their relationship by the end of the experiment? Jack is the one that answers and said, it's our goal. Every week is a build-up. I'm just like, he's not concerned at all that the fact that they haven't had sex, even though he put a time limit on them having sex, and if it didn't happen by the 6-week mark, it weren't going to happen because they didn't have that sexual chemistry. Tory, again, is crickets. So Jack was then asked, do you truly believe you will end up in a long committed relationship post-experiment? All I would say is, with this question, it's a bit broad for me at the end of the day, because I think it interchanges every day once you're in this experiment, because us looking on the outside in, we don't know the pressures that they're feeling within this experiment, because they're in a confined space with all these other couples, and everyone's going to literally bounce off each other in that respect. So I think that decision will interchange every single day. I don't think it's easy in order to make a guarantee now, yes, I am going to end up with this person at the end of this experiment, because you could say that now, and then a couple weeks down the line be thinking, I just want to get the fuck away from this person. So I do think that that's interchangeable, and I think it's a very hard question to ask. Jack basically, well, not ask, to answer. Jack basically turned around and says, we are compatible. And he said on the outside, in regards to his own personality, it's similar to what is showing on the inside. So I mean, I'm like, what do you mean it's similar to what you're showing us now? It either is your personality or it ain't your personality. And if it isn't your personality, why are you trying to be the utmost of a dickhead, yeah, and portraying that's you on the outside? Because nobody would want to go near. They literally freaking want to avoid you with a 10-foot motherfucking pole, to be fair. So all I'm saying is, the Jack that Jack is portraying is, and the Jack that he says he's on the outside, is probably one and the same. So again, Tory is quiet, and all I can say is the more silence that Tory gives on these subjects when it comes to Jack, the more she's accepting as to what Jack says. I mean, I know majority of the questions were pity to Jack, but you know what? She can actively participate too in that scenario. The question was asked of Tory that family is important to you. So do you feel at present Jack will be a good role model for your children? Tory basically said that yes, kids are important for her. Jack then interrupts Tory as she's talking, turned around and said, well, right now, I won't be a good role model because of what's been said. And this is why I said that, yeah, this was just Jack, like, trying to rebuild his image in these people's eyes at the end of the day. So he would understand if Tory had said that right now, right this second, I wouldn't believe he's a good role model because of the shit that he said and the shit that he's done. But overall, maybe. So Jack does take away Tory's answer in regards to the role model question, and this is what I mean. He and I've seen this in a couple of episodes where he won't allow her to literally say what it is that she needs to say and get her point across. He will always jump over her, and it's getting ridiculous because that question wasn't directed at him. It was directed at Tory. So now we honestly don't necessarily know whether Tory would definitely find Jack as a good role model for any children that they have. So Lauren asks, which I think is a good question. So she says to Jack, or both of them, that you are ready to settle down. Do you see Tory as the mother of your children? And if so, when and where? Me, I don't believe that Jack would see Tory as the mother of his children, but I will stand corrected on that if I am wrong. Basically, Jack is saying children is in his future and he has everything lined up, and the only other missing piece is Tori. Oh, Tori loved that. Tori was in seventh heaven when he said that. And I'm like, my girl, you really not reading between the lines, because this man is saying what you want to hear. He knows you want to hear this. Right now, this man knows you're pissed at him. He's trying to make it back into your good books. This is his way of doing it. And Tori's falling for it, hook, line, and motherfucking sinker right now. So, did Jack fully answer that question? No, he didn't. He did turn around and say that he would want children within 2 years. Tori was like, oh my God, 2 years, that's a bit quick. We'd have to work fast. I'm like, my girl, you ain't even thought about the fact that this man ain't even sleeping with your hide at the moment. So what you'd have to do is get through the issue of having sex in order to have the children. Yeah, unless he's wanting you to have IVF or some type of thing so he doesn't have sex with you. But that issue needs to be ironed out, and ironed out pretty fast, if you're literally putting your lot in with each other, and at the end of this you're coming out as a married couple and you're going to have kids in 2 years. This man needs to have sex with you. Like, seriously, he does. I know sex is not the be all and end all, but you know what? This is a marriage. They've been going at it for how long? And you're telling me that you have no sexual attraction to this woman, but yet you're saying that in 2 years with this woman, because you see her as your future, you want kids. I will leave that there. You make your decisions however you want to make your decisions on that one. Put it in the comments and let me know what you think. So then it came to Andrea and Richard, and they had to write an honest and open letter to Lucinda and Tim and give them a task afterwards. So basically there, Andrea was talking about how they've seen Tim and Lucinda grow this vibe between them, but they're still not sharing the same bedroom. So they basically said the task that they've written for them is they need to share the same bed at the end of the day. So Lucinda and Tim get the letter. They do read the task. Lucinda definitely wants it to happen, and it did happen. It happened. Tim was kind of apprehensive at first, because he's the type of person where like me, that, you know, when you're in bed, you like to kind of like to be an island on your own sort of thing, and you don't really want your person to be clinging all over you, because like it comes down to the heat factor at the end of the day. And you just don't want to feel uncomfortable, because I kind of like to move about in bed to get my comfortable positioning. But hey ho, Tim like a trooper did it. Lucinda was all over him. He fell asleep. He said that was the best night's sleep he'd ever had since being on the experiment. And it was all down to Lucinda. I said, you see that? If you don't try, you never know. So then Tim did the next level and took away his whole man cave and moved himself back into the bedroom with Lucinda. It was something that they needed to have. So for Andrea and Richard to say that was the best thing that they could have done for them two at the end of the day. But I'm still going to have that little bit of a worry that Lucinda's going to continue to put her all into this man, you know, do all the work in terms of breaking down his walls, and Tim is still not going to want Lucinda the way that Lucinda wants him. That's how I'm seeing that scenario go. We get to Eden and Jaden, and they've got Sarah and Tim. Was that by design? I think so. It was. It wasn't no random picking that. It was definitely by design. So Eden and Jaden get to ask them 5 questions, and apparently Tim and Sarah get to ask them 5 questions. I don't even think Tim and Sarah got to ask Eden and Jaden any type of 5 questions within these tasks, because Jaden was on a mission. Like, seriously, Jaden was on a mission. As I said, he was on his soapbox, his moralistic standing ground, and he was not going to let Sarah get away with anything by a motherfucking mile. This man was firing questions at this girl left, right, and centre, to the point where I was thinking, okay, Jaden, slow roll, wind your neck in. Who are you, the freaking morality police? Like, he was talking about if she'd sent texting messages to her ex within the past week or so. We all know that she did, because she met up with him, so we know she did. Did she? If so, does she still have those messages? If she doesn't have those messages, why did she delete them? And if she still has those messages, can Tim see them? When my girl turned around and said that she deleted those messages because she knew the context of those messages and she didn't think it would be appropriate for Tim to see, even though she was trying to claim that, you know, the messages were of a banterful nature, she didn't keep those messages, which was quite telling on Sarah's behalf, to be fair. But that is not for Jaden to be the judge, jury and executioner. Eden, I hear you say at this point, what was she doing? She was just sitting there and basically being the mouthpiece for Jaden when Sarah didn't necessarily understand the question that Jaden was asking. So, for example, when Jaden said, "Do you still have the text messages from your ex?" Sarah was quiet and was like, "I don't know what you mean by this." So basically Eden would then jump in and say, "Well, what he's asking for is, do you still have those text messages? And if you do, can Tim see your phone?" And Jaden kept on going until Sarah literally got to the point where she literally broke down and she'd had enough. I think within that moment, Sarah got so anxious about the situation because all she wanted to do was sort things out with Tim, and she didn't need this outside influence from Jaden and Eden, that she literally had to take a beat and take some time and go. So then when she went in the bedroom, Jaden and Eden left, and Sarah broke down, like emotionally broke down in the bedroom, and Tim did try and go and offer her some type of support, but she didn't want it. She said to him point blank, "Can you just leave me alone?" So he walked away feeling quite rejected by Sarah. And I'm thinking at this point, he shouldn't feel that way, because at the end of the day, Sarah is feeling that way because she literally just got fucking railroaded by Jaden and his questions, and the questions that he was saying is something that Tim more than likely would have wanted to ask but didn't know how to ask, but Jaden was that mouthpiece. Now my thing is you've told Tim the situation, yeah. Now it's up to Tim and Sarah in what they do. It's up to Tim to make a decision as to whether he wants to put his lot in with Sarah and try again or not. That's not for Jaden to comment on. So at the end of the day, you've given Tim the message. You back off. Don't keep going. Don't use this as an excuse to go at the girl at the end of the day, because that's how I saw it. So that is where the episode ended, but I'll be back in quick succession with the next episode. As I always ask, as I am on the road to 1K, people, seriously, help me out here. I'm going to plug myself now. Help me out here if you're liking what you're seeing. And I do know and note that the circle is starting on the 17th, and there's also another program that's starting on the 17th on Netflix, which I really want to review. But I am going to be away, sunning myself in the sunny place of Lanzarote for a whole week. So I will hopefully be able to at least watch some of the episodes while I'm over there, because I have the apps and everything, and take my notes. And then when I come back, I will hit the ground running in regards to putting some more content out there. So there will be a catch up in regards to Married at First Sight Australia, The Circle, and the other program that I can't remember the name of right now, but you will get those. You will get it soon. As I always say, my lovely lot, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so when you know I'm doing videos, comments, share, do whatever you want to do. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Peace out.